So there's been a lot of talk about a possible Brandon Ayuk trade, a possible Sutton trade, a lot of different stories coming around about the Steelers and Omar Khan. He's basically denied any rumors about us making any trades today on the McAfee show. He said, I don't know what the exact verbiage was, but nothing's going on. So he pretty much ruled out any trades coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But there are still free agents out there, and the Steelers just restructured Alex Highsmith's contract. And, I think they need to bring somebody else in here. I think Omar Khan's had about as good as offseason as you can have for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think to top this all off, tomorrow morning on DVE, 8:30 in the morning, Omar Khan's going to be interviewed by Randy Bauman and the flagship station of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cleveland Browns have option, I forget the exact name, whoever their rookie was that they decided to take on that fifth-year option, and the Ravens both did assign their players to fifth-year options. And I think that's my number one question if I'm Randy Bauman tomorrow morning and I'm asking Omar Khan, what is the status with Najee Harris? Are we going to sign his fifth-year option? Oh, what's your plans? Because to me, honestly, what is his option? $6-7 million, bro? There's no reason why you shouldn't option Najee Harris for one more year. Period. He has a great offensive line in front of him now. A quarterback in Russell Wilson that's going to be able to keep this offense on way more time and way better rhythm than Kenny Pickett was. A better offensive coordinator. George Pickens probably only going to get better. And, a lot of Wilson's running a great speed. And I think they're still going to add talent, maybe like a Tyler Boyd or a free agent, somebody. They're going to add a little bit more talent to this team. And to me, you got to sign Najee Harris, bro. You just got to. He's going to have a breakout year, given all that. With all that talent in front of him. He's had 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. The option is so cheap. Even though it might not sound cheap for running back, Saquon Barkley just signed a deal for $12 million. Joe Mixon just signed a deal for $12 million. You could say he's not as good as them. Okay. I would say he's 75% of them. So that would basically, I would say, puts Najee at like the $8-9 million year range, in my opinion. So, with that being said, this option to me is a no-brainer. You have control of him, and you bring him back one more year. Unless, other than that, if you're not going to option him, I would probably extend him. I personally would extend him. I'd give him like a 3-year, $25 million deal and say $15 million guaranteed. Some of it would go to the bonus, and then the rest would just be like a cap hit. It would be like maybe $6-7 million to the cap. And that's a cheap deal, and Najee gets guaranteed money. I don't know if Najee's would even want to accept something like that. Because after this season, which I think he's going to have a breakout season. I think he's going to have the best season of his career this year. I think he's in his prime, and I think he has all the talent in front of him now to where it's not going to be all on him and all eyes on him like it's been the past 1 or 2 last season and the season before that. He's been basically the focal point and the main focus. And I said in a post today, the best player on the team. He's not the best player on the team. He's not the best player on the team. I say he's the best player on the team, bro. That's what I say. The best athlete and the best player on the team. He's 6'2", 240 pounds, and just can run with speed once he gets it going. And if he actually gets a hole in a crevice to where he can keep his momentum and get into the second field against linebackers and against safeties and start really lowering his shoulder, he's going to be very good. And I think he's going to have the best season of his career this year. So that will only increase his value in free agency if we don't decide to option him. And then what? We're going to go with Jaylen Warren. We're still going to have to negotiate a deal with him. And that deal hasn't been done. So to me, there's no negotiating. There's no thinking. He's a very serviceable back. 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Never fumbles the ball. The option is cheap as hell. I believe Omar Khan's going to be breaking news this morning. We're going to see breaking news. Either way, you sign him or you don't sign him. You option him or you don't option him. Because if I'm Ronnie Bellman, that's the first question I'm asking him. And then second, are you going to bring in more talent like an Ayuk, like a Sutton, like a Tyler Boyd, like a Stephon Gilmore, whoever that may be that's out there in free agency? I don't sit there and know all the names. They throw around names like crazy. It's a different day of the week, and they're just going to pull a name out of the hat and say, we're gonna break this all down. That's what they do. But this is, to me, it's not, the option is you don't even think about it. Yeah, bro. 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He broke Franco Harris's rookie record. He's been the guy. They've been stacking the box all year on his ass. Last year, he had a damn metal boot in his foot for that first half of the season, and he still ran for 1,000. So yeah, you bring him back on that, or extend him to long term. I would extend him long term, but then again, at the business end, you know what I mean. If you're a manager, you're probably thinking, oh well, I can option him, run him to the dirt, and then just let him go. But they could do that too. They could do that too. And then if they don't want to extend him after that, they don't have to extend him after that. But right now, it's too cheap to me not to do. Not to do. He's too good not to do. And yeah, Jalen Warren's good, but he doesn't start. Najee Harris goes in there first, gets a few runs going, and then the defense got to start breathing. You don't think that takes something out of you when the 250-pound dude's running his shoulder and banging you in the chest and carrying you, and you have to bring him down to the ground, and you have to get all your body weight on top of him or get underneath him, and you run full speed? I mean, that takes a lot out of you. And then Jalen Warren comes in fresh, ready to rumble, ready to go. And I'm not taking nothing away from Jalen Warren. He's a great compliment to Najee Harris. But he's not Najee Harris, bro. He's just not. He's just not. Najee's a different animal. Like, I seen his Instagram story the other day. He's just running up and down the hills like a shot out of a cannon. And he looks like he's really working on his speed and his cuts and his agility in the offseason. So if he can bring a little bit more of that to his game and trim up just a little bit, man. I mean, he has some of the most broken tackles in the league, some of the most broken tackles in a single game and in a single season. He's the exact back the Steelers drafted him to be, because we didn't have an offensive line and we needed a power back that can actually carry the POW, because he's going to be getting hit and stopped in the backfield because the offensive line can't keep blocks like Mason Cole all year long. When they tried to run it up the middle, he got beat and pancaked and thrown around. And now we had a big 310-pound center out of WVU in the second round, who I think is going to be able to throw his weight around a little bit better than Mason Cole. And we got this new tackle, and we got some more depth at the offensive line position. So, and with Russell Wilson actually being able to be a competent option at the quarterback position and balance out the offense, it's going to even make it even easier. That's just that alone too, is they're going to have to actually respect the pass. And they had no respect for the pass last year with Kenny Pickett. So believe me, Russell Wilson may not be the Danger Russ that everybody's seen in Seattle. He might not be that guy no more, but he can still go. He's a game manager. He's a West Coast type, but he's just going to get the ball out quick, on time, on rhythm, boom, boom, boom. He's going to have control of the huddle, control of the offense, control of the playbook. Got his head right on his shoulders. Been there, done that, unlike Kenny Pickett. And now he's going to have the best year of his career. And that option is running backs. I think they don't make no money in this league. I mean, punter, like backup, Mitchell Trubisky was making more than that last year. Are you kidding me? Literally, than what his option would be. Literally. Daniel Jones. Some of these ridiculous quarterbacks. I don't know, like, what is the salary cap? $300 million? What's $7 million to your salary? That is nothing. For your best player on offense, and I'm going to say it, and I did say it, and I'll get the best athlete on the team. The best athlete on the team. Better than TJ. Better than Minka. I bet you Najee's faster than TJ and probably can bench more than TJ. Faster and stronger. Stronger than, he might not be faster than Minka, but he is a hell of a lot stronger than Minka. So, and if he ain't just a little bit. If TJ might just be a little bit stronger than Najee Harris, he might be right there with him. But Najee's way more quick and way more agile. He's the best athlete on the team, man. And he's not even in his prime. He's in his prime right now. This is his prime year. Prime. So, and next year, his 5th-year option. Well, it'll be 26, 27, whatever it may be. The case may be 28. That's your prime. That's your peak. And that boy's ready to eat. That boy's ready to rumble. That boy's smiling. And he's going to be running boys over like he does. And bring Smash Mouth back. Because that's what the Steelers are trying to do. That's what Omar Khan's trying to do with a lot of these draft picks. And we've been drafting offensive linemen the past 2 years. We used a first-round pick for Najee. He's done everything it's asked of him to do. It doesn't make sense. So, tomorrow, the news is going to come out. To me, in my opinion, breaking news, Najee Harris, Omar Khan, get the 5th-year option. Done, deal, signed, sealed, and delivered. So, here we go, Steelers.